Now, payments are starting to get sent out this week to many low-income households. Checks worth of the $450 have officially been approved by state officials. And other lawmakers, everybody, are now considering a more targeted stimulus package that would actually provide more checks to a smaller group of people. And folks, for the past 6 months last year, parents across the country received monthly checks, the expanded child tax credit, under which parents got up to $300 per kid. Lasted from July to December 2021. This program helped keep millions of people out of poverty, touching 35 million families and helping many people. It paused in December, though, after Republicans and Senate Democrat Manchin prevented Congress from making checks permanent, or simply just extending them for one more year. Some states are trying to step up where Congress failed. In Vermont, a Republican governor and a Democratic state legislature signed off on a $1,000 child tax credit for every child ages 5 and under, to households earning $125,000 and below. The state's Republican governor had initially proposed a wider suite of tax cuts. In a statement, Governor Scott said his proposals would have helped a broader cross-section of taxpayers, but that this bill is a step in the right direction. The program is expected to cost $32 million and benefit over 30,000 children in the state. With this new bill, Vermont is picking up where the federal government left off. The expanded child tax credit lapsed in December 2021 due to resistance from Republicans and Manchin, a centrist Democrat from West Virginia. Now, amid negotiations over the Build Back Better plan, Manchin raised concerns over the program. He said that checks should come with a work requirement, which would cut the lowest earning families out from relief. The expanded child tax credit program cut child poverty by roughly a third, according to research from the Center on Poverty and Social Policy at Columbia University. In just this first month, the program helped feed 2 million people and kept 3 million people out of poverty. Now, these gains, everybody, were largely erased only a month after the initiative expired in December. So folks, if you're the age to receive Social Security benefits, it is likely that you are not getting the overall maximum monthly payment of around $4,200. To do so would actually require you to have worked 35 years, earning the maximum wage subject to Social Security withholding tax every single year, and delay retirement until age 70. According to Yahoo News, the average monthly Social Security payment check is up to $1,700, and that's $2,600 less than the $4,200 benefit ceiling. Your maximum possible 2022 Social Security benefit is dependent upon when you begin to collect payments and how much you earned during your 35 highest earning working years.
Service. Last year, our economy grew by 5.7%. Unemployment's down to 3.6%. We've added 8.3 million new jobs under President Biden, including over 2 million last year alone. In fact, when I go out and talk to any type of business, their major complaint is they can't find workers. And this is probably the best year to graduate from high school, college, or anyplace else to find a job. And what would our nation's economy and jobs look like if Congress and administration had not passed the American Rescue Plan last year?
I mean, when President Biden assumed office, the unemployment rate was very high, and there was a great deal of uncertainty whether or not as to how the pandemic would progress, and a real possibility that unemployment would end up rising to Great Depression levels. We worried not only about mean outcomes, but also the tail risk that we could see a very weak labor market. And the memory of 2008, the fact that it took a decade to recover from the financial crisis, that the consequence was many people graduated from college, went into the job market, couldn't find anything, and saw a permanent impact on their life chances. And of course, so many people lost homes and jobs and encountered scarring. And at the time, we were seeing cars lined up in parking lots waiting to get food at food banks because they couldn't keep enough food on the table and were risking roofs over their heads. So the focus was on aiding those people and promoting a strong job market recovery. Now, inflation is absolutely a problem, and it's critical to address it. But I think at the same time, we should recognize how successful that plan was in leading to an economy where instead of having large number of workers utterly unable to find jobs, exactly the opposite is true.
Yes, it is finally happening. Congress is passing a new stimulus bill very soon. Joe Manchin is now meeting with Republican lawmakers to gain their support on President Biden's spending bill. Now, many people will be receiving an $800 stimulus check very soon, so you want to continue watching this video to never miss out on the very important stimulus check information, and we have a ton of good news to cover. So the majority of people in Colorado are eligible to receive $400 to $800 stimulus checks from the state government due to the Taxpayer Bill of Rights passed in 1992. Most full-time residents have already taken in the necessary steps to get their check mailed to them this summer, filing their 2021 state income tax return. Any full-time resident who hasn't been filed can still claim and ensure they get a check by filing out a submitting form by May 31st. However, a lot of residents, including many veterans and seniors, do not regularly file state income tax returns, and they have questions regarding their eligibility. Folks, the answer is yes. You are still eligible to receive the $400 check for single filers and $800 for joint filers if you are a full-time resident. According to Colorado Governor Jared Polis, there are additional benefits to filing state and federal income tax returns, even if the taxpayer owes little to nothing. He said filing a return ensures that any excess withholding tax is refunded, and they may also be eligible for valuable refundable state and federal credits, like the Earned Income Credit and the Child Tax Credit. This is the same requirement for people in Colorado who claim and receive payments for the 6-tier flat sales tax refund mechanism that would normally refund the money at filing time next year. All eyes are on Joe Manchin as he moves forward with negotiations on President Biden's Build Back Better bill. Reporters have asked Senator Manchin and GOP senators about the claim in a new book that Manchin said he will be willing to switch to the Republican Party if Senate Republican John Thune were the Senate GOP leader instead of Mitch McConnell. Manchin told reporters today that Republican colleagues frequently ask him about switching parties and that he never seriously considered leaving the party. The banter between Manchin and his Republican colleagues is reinforcing doubts that he will not sign on any point this year to a partisan reconciliation package to enact major elements of Biden's domestic agenda, with 50 Democrat votes and no GOP votes. Democrats also have taken note that Manchin's opposition to various Democratic initiatives appears to be playing well back home. According to a report, Manchin's job approval rating in West Virginia has jumped by 17 points compared to a year ago. 57% of West Virginians now approve of Manchin's job performance, compared to only 40% after the first 3 months of 2021. According to Democrats' concerns, Manchin has convened a bipartisan group of senators in an attempt to pass a package of energy proposals that would also address climate change with 60 votes under regular order. It's a development for Democratic senators who hope a climate and renewable energy package will be a core piece of the budget reconciliation package. Now, the climate and energy piece of the reconciliation package is competing with what